The one thing that I decided or not worried about when, the impact on my family was that I can't fall to pieces and sit in a corner and go down a big black hole with this, because that makes it harder for them as well. I decided right from the beginning that I have to take a deep breath and accept it and get on with it, because if I lost the plot, how hard it would be for my children to see me lose the plot or lose that, I had to be strong because they couldn't cope if I wasn't, because I've always been the one they looked up to me, and Mum is strong and Mum knows how to deal with everything. Mum knows what to do about everything. Mum's always looked after me. So I felt with my kids particularly, I had to take a deep breath and deal with it. I wasn't going to allow myself to feel that I couldn't cope with it, because I had to, because I still had them relying and looking at me every day when I had this done.
It's important to talk to the people around you. Talking about things, does make it less of a burden to carry on your own, and it's important to try and learn to talk about things early on, but not all of us can do that, and not all of us have someone around us. So if you don't have someone around you, it's important to find someone, and that's where your cancer care coordinator is a really vital person, because she will give you that information, and you can always check in with her, and she'll be able to direct you to people that you need, to get the information from. But really, it's about sharing that burden rather than trying to carry it on your own, and that's for carers as well. So your family and friends will also try and be brave and strong and stoic, and that's the way we're taught to cope, but it's not necessarily the best way in this situation. So it's important to talk about things, tap into your care coordinator for information, and make sure that you're talking about what's going to happen next. In terms of the aloneness, it's really important that you try and address that. And there's certainly services that exist within the hospital system to address that. So we have a psycho-oncology service, so people can come and talk to a psychologist or a clinical nurse consultant who have experience in working with patients with cancer. And we want to see people as early as we can, in the sense that we don't want this to become something that overwhelms you. The majority of people that I see in my position aren't crazy, they're not mad. They're people that are struggling to deal with a life-changing situation, and they're struggling with grief, and they're struggling with relationship issues and intimacy issues. They're all normal responses to what is an abnormal situation. It's not normal to be diagnosed with a cancer. That's the thing that's wrong. The way you cope with it is to go through grief, and I'm just here to support people do that. Your GP can refer you to psychologists in the community. There are plenty of options, so please think about taking them up.
You've just had a diagnosis of head and neck cancer made. It's clearly a lot to deal with. It is clearly a significant journey that you're about to embark on, should you choose. You certainly won't come out the same person that you were at the start of this process, but the simple fact is you will come out the other end as someone who will lead and continue to lead a rewarding life and overcome the ravages of this awful disease.
But the amazing thing to me is to see the human spirit triumph and see somebody who did not think they could deal with it go through the treatment, come out the other side, and then follow them up and see them living fulfilling, happy lives 5, 10 years into the future.